Hey, Bolts here. I don't really have anything in mind really for exactly what I want to talk about with this, other than just kind of like a bit of a post AGDQ talk about the two runs I did. I ran BPM Bolts for a minute and Slowdrive. I ran BPM on Tuesday. I ran Slowdrive Friday morning. So both those runs are up now on their YouTube. Slowdrive might actually not be up right now. It'll be up in the next 12 hours or so. So, going into it, I think I was most stressed about BPM, and that was the first run, so we'll start with that. BPM being a roguelike and rhythm-based, had a lot of kind of stress going into it, and one of the underlying stressful things I didn't talk about too much, I didn't mention it during the run, I was going to, but then decided not to, was that inherently with how we were splitting audio with the game, there is audio delay with using Voice Meter Banana or pretty much anything that's going to do audio splitting for that, as far as I'm aware. I'm not super well versed in that, but the understanding that I got was that was kind of just inherently with it when you're doing that. And the reason you have to do that is because if a producer needs to talk with you or someone on the staff needs to talk with you, they need to be able to not hear the Discord noise. It allows them also to balancing themselves, so they don't have to have you balance everything for them. They can just change the balance of the game audio or your microphone or something like that. So that's kind of the reason for that. But because of that, there's an inherent delay. So I don't think it was super noticeable for the run. Probably me mentioning it's probably the only way people are probably gonna know that it was there. I think I did an alright job with it. I did a lot of practice with the headphones and the audio delay to try to get there with it. I think the thing I was kind of most sad about was, like there's some confusion about things, which I was upset because I didn't get to talk about everything with commentary. I guess spoiler for the run if you haven't watched it yet. We didn't die during it, we didn't permadeath, we didn't have anything wrong really happen. It was about a 20-minute run, so that's always nice. But there was a lot of questions about the character choice, because I inherently chose a character that took away one of the mechanics of the game, which is the gun. That you don't have to focus on gun drops or getting a good gun, but you also don't get to use any of that interesting stuff. The game came out less than a month before submissions started. It might have been out for a month by the time submissions ended, I think. So I went with a pretty safe character. I wasn't even intending to submit it, I think. I even kind of joked about it, that someone was going to submit it, and then I ended up being the one that submitted it. So, I don't know. That was kind of a dumb potential thing for me. I've not been super involved with the community. I've done some stuff with the game, and I've done a decent bit of running for it, but I think in the first month of the game being out and doing runs, some people probably have more hours than I do currently, but I still have 80 something hours in it, but I know some people had like 100 hours really quick. I didn't really get that sort of depth of the game when I was running it, but I was also focusing on the one character. I was focusing on Njord because I enjoyed playing him. He was a safer character for a marathon especially, so that was part of it for me. I wanted to have a safer character for it, but it's always a little sad when people aren't 100% happy about your run because of certain stuff like that. I mean, hopefully in the future another runner picks it up as well, but I think generally people that hadn't played the game were impressed with it, or played it a little bit. I don't know the reactions specifically from other runners of the game. I don't think I had any really reach out to me besides the German restreamer, which I wish I knew German so I could listen back to that. It'd be interesting to hear kind of how that went. But besides that, I think it was good. It was my first run that I've ever done that was after noon, EST, or local time for the marathon. All my other runs have been between 1 1 or 2 a.m. to like 9 a.m., which, you know, is still like a good time for non-US viewers, but it was kind of a nice thing to have a run that was at a more conventionally prime time sort of thing. But I did get a little bit of like, I was surrounded by like Hades and Left 4 Dead 2 and Fear and Cuphead, like all these really classically not classically, sorry, like games that are very entrenched in sort of the speedrunning community, and people are very aware of it, and all the games have a decent bit of runners for it, or you know, either well known in their own right or well known for speedrunning, or both. So I did. There was some like worry about feeling out of place. I mean, in terms of the marathon and branching from like doing the roguelike game to doing a horror game, like it fit because of that, but it was still cool. It was a cool opportunity. Slowdrive was at my usual block. It was at 4 a.m., so I stayed up the night to do that. Thank you, by the way, to Meta and Meta Llama for doing commentary for each of these runs, respectively. Sorry, respectfully and respectively. Slowdrive was still a little stressful, but actually the run itself was record pace for like 80% of it, which was nice. I think some people got to see it and were interested in it and got to enjoy it. I think it was a good showing for it. The final level took a few tries, but I mean, it's a really hard level, so it's going to take a few tries. Like I said during the run, I mean, both me and Metal Llama took at least an hour to beat that level the first time we went through, so being able to do it in 3 or 4 minutes is, you know, can't complain too much. I don't really know how to phrase how I feel, I guess. I feel like I can do better with my runs. I think that's probably where I'm at right now. I feel like I can give a better presentation for my runs. I see a lot of comments about like people viewing the run, like not specifically about runs, but runs in general, like these people aren't entertaining enough. Like, you know, the runs are fine, but the people aren't being entertaining enough. And you also have people saying like these people are trying too hard, you know. And you can't listen to all of that, or really any of it, because it's inevitably you're not going to make everyone happy with the runs, but I think I can do better. I've done runs since like 2016, 2017 for GDQ, and I feel like I'm still kind of, I don't know, I kind of do my own thing with it a little bit. I'm not trying to emulate anyone. I'd love to do really entertaining runs like Covert Muffin does. I'd love to do really entertaining runs like what are some other people that I really watched? Blood Thunder does a lot of really entertaining runs. I'm trying to think of the people that I watched and really enjoyed. Teaminator, though he's not really actively doing runs right now, but his Beautiful Joe run definitely was a big inspiration. But my commentary isn't anything like that. My commentary is very descriptive and it's very informative, and I try to bring people into the community and bring people into the game and have them understand it. And maybe just inherently with that, the kinds of games I run, they have a lot of stuff to talk about, but they're not really super mechanically deep, I guess. I mean, BPM has a lot of stuff to talk about in terms of decision making, and Slowdrive has a lot to talk about in terms of like really small things, but I don't know, I can't pin what I need to fix with it. This is a little bit of venting and me trying to figure this out myself while talking through it. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, inevitably it can just be a personality thing, and that's just kind of what I do, and maybe I'm trying to fix a problem that doesn't exist. I really enjoy watching friends do runs and put on good shows, but I always sit down after mine and I feel like I could have done a little bit better with it. Not even a little bit. I feel like I don't know. I don't want to get down on myself too much, because the run-wise both went well. Commentary-wise, there wasn't any big hiccups with anything. But I feel like I'm missing something, and I don't know what it is. So that's kind of where I'm at after this. The at-home element of it is nice in some ways, where it makes it much easier for me to prep for my runs. I can kind of relax and have my own space beforehand, and then, you know, I'm obviously used to the setup for things. But another way, maybe I'm kind of missing feeding off of people in the crowd. I don't feel like my commentary has gotten worse though since we've done online GDQs. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have enjoyed running stuff for GDQs. I've enjoyed getting to share my runs. I'm trying to kind of figure out if this is something that I can solve. If it's a problem, does a problem exist? Is it something I can solve? What can I do to improve my commentary for marathons? Is it a stylistic choice is a problem? Like, is being really informed with the commentary kind of missing the point in some ways? The one thing I thought was possibly game choice, and then I think that's never going to be something I want to change. I'm not going to change what games I'm running and submitting specifically with GDQ in mind. I'm going to run what I want to run. So maybe that's just kind of the roadblock. Is part of, I mean, in the end, GDQs choose, the committee chooses games based on, you know, getting people interested into things to make an entertaining event so people will donate. And part of that is games people know. And there are blocks of indie games people are less aware of that are really interesting in their own way. And especially the games committee right now is very generous towards those kinds of games. And I appreciate that, obviously, somebody that runs those kinds of games. But I don't think I'm changing the types of games I'm going to run. I'm going to enjoy what I enjoy and do my best with it. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a problem. That's the funny thing. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I feel like I can do better, but I don't know what the problem is or if the problem exists. So this is 12 minutes of me trying to figure that out and talk through it, and not really falling on something. Obviously, thank you to the staff for making everything run smoothly, especially Taylor did a really good job with prepping us for Slowdrive at like 4 a.m. So obviously Dr. No and T-Tree both did a very good job hosting, and working around me forgetting always to throw donations, which is a bit of something I need to remember. But yeah, if you didn't get to check out either run, I think the runs themselves are really good. Despite maybe it's a good thing that I'm trying to always get better at stuff like this, but hopefully it's something I can figure out. We'll see in future events if I get anything in. I never expect to get into any of these events. I'm just fortunate that I've been able to show off games for so many events. But hopefully next time I get to do a run for the event, I can maybe try to figure this out. Maybe talk to some people that have commentary styles that I enjoy, and kind of how they set up for things and how they prepare and how they do it. And just, you know, in the end, I want to feel more comfortable going into SGDQ if I do a run for that or whatever future GDQ event, and just feel like I can, you know, help as much as I can with the event and making it entertaining. So that's kind of where I am right now. So sorry, a bit of rambly video, but I did want to talk a bit about it, and I'm gonna put up some post commentaries for both runs because they allow us to do that 24 hours after the runs have been done. We can post our own runs on our channels if we want, but I want to do a little bit more, so I'll be talking through the runs as they happen and mentioning stuff that couldn't be mentioned during the run, as well as behind the scenes sort of things that happen beforehand. So usually it's a different perspective, and it's kind of nice to do. So I did a few of those for SGDQ 2020 if you want to check those out. So thanks for watching.